Let's breathe together. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and we're going to blow it out really slow. Today's message, today's topic is you don't become a kahuna by playing in puddles. So you don't become a big wave surfer without getting into the ocean, without getting into the art of riding big waves. On a recovery journey from chronic pain or other neuroplastic conditions where your unconscious mind is trying to protect you, the best thing you can do, or at least one of the best things you can do, is to ride the big waves and learn how to ride the big waves. What do I mean by big waves? In my case, when my unconscious mind decided to protect me with extreme sensations on the level of an amputation, and I found it hard to walk, to sit, like nearly impossible to do all those things, like almost anything really. Like I spent most of my day lying down, and there was a year where I was in bed most all of the time. So then I realized that I started to play in the puddles, which was like, oh, I'm gonna sit for like 20 seconds. I'm gonna sit like 30 seconds. And I realized that wasn't getting me where I needed to go. So I began to ride the big waves, which would come after I did something. So I would expose myself to a trigger, to a situation that had caused more sensations, and allow those waves to come. Like really allow huge waves to come. So drive all the way to the pool and swim and drive all the way home, which seemed terrifying when I thought I couldn't sit for more than 30 seconds. And it was like sitting in a big fireworks display, really. When I was driving, I would be getting a lot of sensations, and I would calmly reassure myself that, hey, these are just coming from my brain. That brain thinks that going out in the car is something dangerous, so it's giving me extra protection. And I rode the big waves. I learned how to ride them. So I would go do some stuff. Maybe the next day or later that day, I would get huge waves of sensation, like a lot of pain. Brain was trying to tell me not to do this again, not to do as much, to push me back into the bed where everything was safe. I wasn't going to die in the bed. Like survival was all it was thinking of, not comfort. And that's a topic for another video. But in essence, if you want to make big leaps in your recovery, you have to train yourself to be able to embrace the big waves that come after big action. So you take your action, you do something that has been a trigger before. You go out into the world, you go dancing, you go roller skating, you go surfing, you do something. Maybe it's just a walk to the mailbox. Then when you get back, sensations, the big wave of sensations comes. And when you respond to those sensations with a curious attitude of, wow, that's interesting. That's a great message, thanks. Like I'm happy you're giving me this message. I agree with you, unconscious mind. Like, protection is great. Protection is wonderful. I'm fine if you give me that. And being fine with that, being fine with the sensation, riding the wave. When you're fine, you ride it. You allow it to come up and carry you, and you allow and you hold your, not hold, but you allow your mind to stay in a place of positivity as much as you can, like in terms of knowing, deeply knowing that you're actually all right and this is going to pass. And you ride those big waves and you become a big kahuna, a great surfer. And once that happens, you expand. And as you expand your ability to ride those waves, you get confidence. As you get confidence, unconscious mind is like, wow, he's fine. So sensations fade. And it's a beautiful upward spiral. And then you find that the big waves just, there's no fear anymore. And you know you're really rolling on your recovery at that point. At that point, you just widen your timeline and say, I know I'm going to get there. And you allow that process to continue. And you allow life to unfold. And you embrace the journey. If you have any questions, reach out. You can visit my website at healingwolfcoaching.com. Thank you for subscribing and giving me thumbs up and ringing the bell and all that kind of stuff, because it helps me get my message out. I'm trying to help people who are walking through the same hell that I walk through, so that my time in hell will not be wasted, that some good will come of the journey I took. Even though it was complete hell for me, I learned a lot. And I'm sharing that knowledge here, and I help clients to move confidently through hell, through the jungle of recovery, and back to life.